Hello, everyone. This is Nathan Chua again, coming to you from the Philippines. And today I have another blog post, so I'm going to present this to you through a video with slides. And hopefully you would enjoy this one, especially those who are struggling with their relationships. Sa mga mag-asawa dyan, sa mga nahihirapan sa kanilang mga relasyon, this one is for you. Okay? So, are you about to give up on your relationship? So yan. That's the title of our video presentation right now. All right. So once again, if you want to know more about me, go to my website, onelifeonly.net. And this is a blog post that I am reading to you. Kaya, and also, hopefully, I'll be able to upload this to Spotify. So I have my blogcast there. I call it a blogcast because it's a blog that I put a voice on para sa mga taong hindi mahilig magbasa or walang time magbasa. All right? Okay. So couples often wonder how the person they love has turned into someone they can't stand at all. They cannot stand at all. Why can't he be responsible enough to take care of our finances? Why is she so disorganized or impulsive? He seems to care more about his family than he cares about me. I'm bored in this relationship. My partner doesn't care about what I feel. He is too quiet or aloof. I don't feel any closeness anymore. So ito yung mga madalas na complain about relationships, no? Marami pang iba. I just came up with a few examples. Maybe some of them may be familiar to you. All right. So, of course, there are legitimate reasons for you to consider leaving your partner, such as violence or infidelity. So, kung yung partner mo, lagi kang binubugbog, or talagang may iba ng gusto, or lagi na lang, nangangaliwa, these are, you have more than enough reason or good enough reasons to say goodbye to a relationship. All right. So these are legit reasons. Um, pero most couples often say that their issues mostly revolve around their differences. So thus we get the term irreconcilable differences. Di ba? Madalas natin marinig ito. Okay? So yung mga enumerate ko, the ones that I enumerated from the first paragraph, or the way I started this vlog or video, can be summed up in terms of what we often hear couples declare as their reason for separating. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't mean that these cannot be legitimate reasons to call it quits. I am in no position to tell you that you should stick to your relationship just because your problems simply fall into this category. So, ang ibig sabihin, hindi porket irreconcilable differences lang yan, seemingly irreconcilable differences, hindi na kayo dapat maghiwalay o pipilitin yung magstay together. Kasi hindi ko naman alam yung buong sitwasyon ninyo. Alright? So, and if your partner refuses to seek the help that your relationship could benefit from, so, pwede kayo may irreconcilable differences, tapos yung partner mo ayaw pang mag-seek ng counseling or therapy, then you may have legitimate reasons to find a more meaningful life either without a partner or with someone else. All right? So, pwede, no? Kung your partner refuses to go seek help with you, go to therapy, go to couples counseling or marriage counseling, uh, well, nasa sa'yo yun, no? If you think it's worth all the effort to go through an annulment or a divorce, then uh, that's your call. All right. So dito lies the beauty, or herein lies the beauty of integrative behavioral couples therapy, or IBCT. So IBCT has been the approach that I've been using. All right. By the way, ito yung slide. So if your partner doesn't wish to seek help for counseling, then baka ano, uh, you have legitimate reasons to say na this is not the life I want. Uh, I often see this with older couples who have tried very hard, but you know, uh, talagang hindi sila magkasundo, or sometimes even went to counseling, but that was unsuccessful. Of course, there's nothing to prevent you to come back to counseling because counselors are only human. Sometimes they make mistakes, you know. So, and kanya-kanya rin, you know, some counselors are bagay sa'yo, some counselors are not. Okay. So I often tell my clients, be patient with this. Don't prejudge it. Kasi, you know, it could be very tricky, not easy to understand, but eventually you'll see some of the fruits of your own labor. Okay. So one of the details that I look for in couples as I work with them are the reasons why they fell in love with each other in the first place. Let's take the complaints that couples bring to the therapy room that I enumerated in the first paragraph. So I added something here like a heading. It's called contextual thinking and essential thinking versus essential thinking. Sounds too technical? Well, yes. I just don't have any other way to say it, pero you'll understand later as I talk about yung mga differences ng uh, na madalas nating i-refer as irreconcilable differences. Okay? So let's take complaint number one. He is not responsible enough. He is disorganized and impulsive. Well, noong nagliligawan pa kayo or early on in your relationship, you may have liked the idea that your partner now was, during your dating days, the helpless person who appreciated it every time you would come to his rescue. Somehow you found a role that was satisfying in this relationship. Right? It could also mean that your partner's impulsiveness in certain contexts can be an endearing quality. Why, he would buy me an expensive gift out of nowhere, diba? So somebody who's a little bit spontaneous, you know, disorganized can have a positive trait. Like sometimes you're too tired and you come home and you're not in the mood to fix your room, and your partner doesn't mind. So that's something you don't fight about. All right? Eh kung pareho kayong masyadong OC, pwedeng mangyari na mag-away kayo. Mas OC pa siya sa'yo. Right? So that's one. So usually yung gusto natin sa isang tao, yun din yung bagay na nakaka-annoy in the future. Kasi hindi nagbabago anuman yung konteksto. Right? Okay. So she seems to care more about her family than us. All right. So I think this is one of those issues that couples complain about quite often. Given our culture of being in a context where family is a Filipino's greatest resource in hard times, is it any wonder that your partner finds it difficult to split loyalties in the context of your relationship? Alright? So nagbago na yung konteksto ng inyong relationship. See, I use the word context a lot. So later on, you'll understand what the difference is between a contextual way of thinking and a essential way of thinking. All right? So, ang nangyayari, syempre, na-in-love ka dun sa partner mo kasi, pwedeng, oh, ang ganda ng pamilya ng partner ko. They're very close. Maalaga siya sa pamilya niya. Hindi syempre, pag nagbago yung konteksto, hindi naman syempre, pero most likely or more often than not, no, your partner will not be as aware of the change in context as you would like. Kasi hindi naman yan, before you got married or got together for the long term, you don't really deal with each other's families. And then you realize na, oh, marami palang rito, problema. Alright? So, uh, yun, no? So, baka gusto mo siya dahil hindi siya pareho ng pamilya ko, yung pamilya na napaka-close, right? So, eventually, when you get into that, long-term relationship, sabi nga nila, when you marry someone, you're actually marrying the family, no? You realize na marami palang mga ganyang mga conflicts or let's say may mga gusto yung pamilya niya o siya na nagko-conflict sa gusto mo. Alright? So, the next one, yung binanggit ko kanina, medyo aloof yung partner ko. I'm bored in this relationship. My partner doesn't care what I feel. She's too quiet or aloof. I don't feel any closeness anymore, right? Maybe when you're looking for a partner, there was an attraction to this person's aloofness. It made this person mysterious and interesting. She is also quite the opposite of the noisy, agitating people you grew up with as a child. Finally, I can have the peaceful and quiet relationship that I was looking for. At the same time, your aloof partner may have liked the idea that you gave him the emotional element in his life. So goes the saying that opposites attract. Di ba? So, pwedeng nagustuhan mo siya dahil tahimik siya, tapos siya nagustuhan naman ikaw dahil magulo ka, maingay ka, masaya kayo together, di ba? Parang may balance. Pero eventually, pagtagal, nag-iiba yung konteksto. Minsan, may sakit ka, tapos hindi niya alam kung anong sasabihin niya sa'yo. Kasi nga, ganun siya eh. No? Kaya lang, hindi mo nakita yung ganun sa bagong konteksto. Right? Hindi ka naman araw-araw may sakit. Di ba? So, ibig sabihin, hindi aware yung partner mo na ito pala yung nagustuhan ko noon, no? Eh, kaya siya ganito ngayon, di ba? So, later on, I'll talk more about this in a sense. So, IBCT encourages couples to see that their partner will never be everything to them. No couple is 100% compatible. In fact, the chances of you ending up with someone who is incompatible to you is 100%. Let's face it, your partner who goes at a snail's pace will go at a snail's pace in situations when this quality can be disadvantageous to facing life's inevitable problems as you go through it no longer as individuals, but as a couple. All right? So, dati natutuwa ka, parang relax kayo pag nagde-date kayo, alam mo yun, no rush. Wow, for the first time, I met someone who's really, relaxed, Hindi katulad ng ex ko, nagmamadali laging nag, na, natataranta, right? So, yun ang sinasabi natin, no? Na yung kanina sinasabi ko, in a way, I was gonna explain that, uh, you know, nagbabago yung konteksto pero hindi mo alam na yung nagustuhan mo sa kanya, nandun pa rin sa kanya sa ibang konteksto. All right. So if you're wondering what I mean by contextual versus essential thinking, your partner and you behave differently in different contexts. Your partner is not essentially a bad person. Believe me, I have yet to encounter a client who I felt had inherently harmful intentions. If you come to therapy with the same intention of saving your relationship, it is more likely that you and your partner are doing your best to show that you care and that you want your partner to be happy. Your partner is not essentially defective. They just learn to behave in certain ways in certain situations that at times covers other situations that do call for a different behavior. So, kunyari, pareho kayong, magulo sa bahay and then you get along very well. And then nag-iba yung konteksto, naging magulo na yung buhay nyo kasi may emergency or something. And then pareho kayong magulo and then what endeared you to your partner becomes something that is an annoyance to your partner. So that's what IBCT makes you aware of as aspects of your relationship that are better off accepted and may take a long while or even forever to change. If we learn to notice and accept that these so-called irreconcilable differences, chances are your partner will notice that. And having the minds that we have, I always go back to what Carl Rogers had said many years ago. Let me paraphrase it to apply not just to yourself, but also for your partner and your relationship. So what this means is um, in IBCT, we recognize that may mga bagay na mahirap baguhin. There are certain things that are hard to change in your partner and for yourself also, no? And there are some things that are more open to change. Okay? So it's just being able to be mindful of what those things that you can or cannot change. So there's a lot of mindfulness involved here sa IBCT. All right? So the quote from Carl Rogers says, "The curious paradox is that when I accept myself just as I am, then I can change." So those are uh, the exact words of Dr. Carl Rogers. I think he was in the 1950s. No, he was from the 1950s. And let me paraphrase that to apply to you as a couple. The curious paradox is that when my partner accepts me just as I am, then I can change. All right. So I hope you enjoyed this week's blog or video. And I think, you know, there's an old prayer that says, Lord, give me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can change, and the wisdom to know the difference. Okay? So, ganun din sa mag-partner. Alam mo, if your partner feels accepted, the chances are your partner will do something that you don't expect. Uh, Oy, seems like my partner didn't make me kulit or didn't get angry when he or she saw or they saw that my room was messy. All right. Or the room was messy. So instinctively, usually the partner, your partner will notice that and then realize, well, most of us go into marriage for just one reason or a couple relationship for just one reason, which is to make another person happy. All right. So that's the kind of monkey we are, as Stephen Hayes would say. All right. So have fun for the rest of the day or week, wherever you are. And again, this is Nathan Chua. Please visit onelifeonly.net, like and subscribe to this channel. Uh, and hope to see you next time again. All right. Bye bye for now. Take care.